Hey, how's it going, everyone? Brick Cinema Productions back with another review. Today we're going to be looking at some more LEGO compatible, but not LEGO, minifigures. So yesterday I had a video that went up that was reviewing some World War II US Airborne soldiers that I had gotten off of AliExpress. These are from the same company, or the same store on AliExpress. And we're going to be looking at these today. So I got two sets of these. And each one of the sets comes with 10 figures. You get one of these commanders and 3 of these individual types. This one specifically, you have a few different options in terms of weapons. So this set I got the more expensive painted weapons, where you get a variety of weapons and they're all pretty detailed and painted. These run $18 for the set, so about $1.80 per figure. The cheaper set, which is the other set I got, you get the same exact figures, but all of the figures come with, as you can see in this bag, just a plain brown Car 98 with no painting or anything on it. However, even though this set was just supposed to come with the painted weapons, each one of these figures also came with one of the brown Car 98s, so I have a bunch of extra ones of those. And for some reason, all these figures also came with extra hands. So I have like this whole baggie of extra hands from these figures, but we're going to go ahead and look at the details on each of the types of minifigures, and then we'll get into the weapons. Alright, so this is the first figure that you get with this set. You only get one of these. This is the commanding officer of these troops. So let's get into the details here. This is the only one of these figures that comes with a hat instead of a helmet. All the other ones come with helmets. You can see on the helmet there's some insignias there. On the face, just a pretty simple face, no extra detail there really. But looking at the torso, this one is pretty unique compared to the other ones. So for a couple of things you can see on there, there's some like gold medals and an iron cross there on his pockets, as well as a pistol holster. Looking at the sleeves, both the sleeves are the same on this, you just have some stitching towards the bottom. And looking at the rear here, looks like he just has some kind of pocket thing on the back of his belt there. The pants all around are pretty simple, there's just some stitching and boots. But overall, pretty well detailed. I think this is a pretty decent looking figure. You can see some detail on the collar there as well. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the next figure. Alright, so this is the next type of figure that we get in this set. This, I believe, is meant to be just your standard Rifleman. So we'll start up here in the helmet. On the helmet there are some insignias on both sides, as you can see there, and on the other side as well. Looking at the face, this face comes with a helmet strap. Actually, all of the faces from this point forward, with the exception of the commander that we just looked at, all the rest of the minifigures are going to have the exact same face here, and helmet for that matter. So the details between these are just going to be mostly in the torsos here. So looking at the torso, you see you have the same shirt as the commander, but no extra medals or no pistol holster either. But you do get some ammo pouches there on the front. And looking at the sleeves, these are the same as well, with just some stitching on there. And on the rear, you get what looks to be a canteen and gas mask canister. Overall, another pretty detailed character. The legs, again, just boots and stitching, nothing special about those. So let's go ahead and take a look at the next character. So up next we have this minifigure. So looking at this one, like I said, the helmet and face on all these are going to be the same going forwards. This is the same as the previous one. Where the differences are here are in the torso. So on the front here, you can see it's the same shirt as the previous one, except the ammo pouches are bigger and of a dark tan color. I believe this is supposed to be the troop that's like holding the machine pistols that this comes with, I think. Looking at that, you have the same detail on the collar, and on the sleeves you have the same stitching, as well as some belt detail underneath the arms there. Looking at the rear, this is also the same as the last one. You have the same canteen and gas mask canister on the rear there as well. And the legs are also the same here, with just the boots and the stitching on the sides. Once again, overall pretty detailed, but also pretty similar to the other figures. So let's go ahead and move on to the last type of figure. The last type of figure we get with this set is the machine gunner. So looking at this, once again, the helmet and face are exactly the same as the previous two types. But once again, the torso is a little bit different. So on this one, you can see they have, you know, what do you call that? A belt of, you know, bullets of ammunition going up and around. And you can see this is also on the rear. It's like up and around their neck. They're holding it, you know. Other than that, the rear of it is pretty similar with the, you know, canteen, the gas mask canister, excuse me. The sleeves are the same. But looking at the front again, you can also see underneath the bullets, there's also a pistol holster. So this one is a little bit different than the other two underneath the bullet details, but otherwise pretty similar, the same pockets, same color and all that. And the pants on this one are once again the same as the other ones, with just the boots and the stitching on the side. Overall, another pretty detailed figure, but let's go ahead and look at the weapons now. So the first weapon we have here is for the commander. We only get one of these. This is a, you know, appears to be like a Luger pistol. So on this is pretty detailed. You can see the handle is painted brown. Although the painting towards the top isn't like right up against the rest of the weapon, but it still adds a nice level of detail. Overall, I think this weapon is pretty good. I don't have any real complaints with it. I think it's pretty detailed. I think the painting adds a little bit to it, makes it look a little better, but not a whole lot to say about this one, so we'll go ahead and move on to the next one. Alright, so the next weapon we get here is also for the commander. This one you only get one of also. It's just a sword, a type of saber. As you can see, the handle is black and the blade is painted like a, you know, silver color. It's pretty simple, but I think the paint makes it look like it's, you know, pretty realistic and overall pretty good. Once again, not really a whole lot to say about this one. Get a couple more angles of that, but you know, it's a sword. So let's go ahead and move on to the next weapon. Alright, so our next weapon here is this Kar 98. This one I think is one of my favorites that comes with this set. This is pretty detailed, and I think the painting adds a whole lot to it. Looking at it, you can see it's painted, you know, on the trigger and up on the bolt itself, as well as at the tip here and at the end of the stock as well, are all painted. Overall, I think this is a pretty detailed weapon. I think the paint adds a whole lot in terms of detail to it. Go ahead and show it from the other side here. I also, like I said, have some of these in the unpainted variety. Let me go ahead and grab one of those just for comparison. Because they came with the unpainted ones as well for some reason. So this is the unpainted variety. Personally, I think the painted version is worth the extra money here. I think it adds a whole lot of detail to it and makes it look a whole lot better overall. I also happen to have the same weapon made by Brick Arms, so I'll go ahead and show that as a comparison as well. If you're interested to see if you maybe have one of these in Brick Arms, want to see the size difference or whatever. The version I have from Brick Arms is, you know, obviously unpainted. It's just plain brown, but detail here is actually really similar. The only real notable difference is you don't see, on the Brick Arms version, you don't see like those little circles here and, you know, on the stock back there that you get on the cheaper version. Presumably that's just from the molding, but other than that, the design is very, very similar. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the next weapon. Alright, so this is the next weapon here. I forgot to mention with the previous one that you actually only get 2 of the regular painted Kar 98s. The third Rifleman gets this Kar 98 with a scope on it, which I think is a pretty nice detail, having one that's a little different. This is painted very similarly to the other painted Kar 98, except you have the scope on top, obviously. Overall, I also think this is a really, really detailed weapon. I think the painting adds a whole lot to it. I do like how it comes with 2 of the regular Kar 98s and 1 that's scoped. I think that's a nice touch. But let's go ahead and move on to the next weapon. The next weapon we have here is the MP40. This is also a pretty detailed weapon here. This one is painted, although I'm not entirely sure why. I'm not sure if having that random bit of brown there, it's also on the other side as well, is realistic or not. I don't think so, but you do get 3 of these, and overall they're pretty detailed. You can see some detail there above the clip, or above the magazine, excuse me, and you know, throughout the whole length of the barrel and such. Go ahead and take a look at the other side here. Yeah, you can see that painting there as well. Not entirely sure why that's there. I'm not sure. I don't think it's supposed to be there. Or maybe it is. I don't know. But beyond that, I think it's a pretty detailed weapon. The only thing I don't really like about it is that brown. It just kind of looks out of place in my opinion. But anyway, we'll go ahead and move on to the next weapon. Alright, so for our next weapon we have here what I believe is an MG34. This is another situation similar to the rifles where we get 2 of these, and we also get 1 MG42, which we'll look at after this. Overall, I think these are actually pretty well detailed. They come with these bipods, which are detachable, and as you can see, it's painted there on the handle and on the stock. There's plenty of details along the barrel and such. For the MG34s, these come with these, they're, you know, belt fed here. So you get these are removable, but they're like gold or brass, I guess, painted, you know, belts of bullets there. So the MG34s come with those, and when we look at the 42, we'll see that that one actually comes with a magazine. But overall, I think this is pretty detailed. I think the paint once again adds a nice extra touch to it. But let's go ahead and look at the 42 as well. Alright, so here is our MG42. Like I said, you get 2 of the 34s and 1 of the 42s. So you get 1 of these, but overall, I think once again these are pretty detailed. You have the wooden stock and the wooden handle. You get the same bipod as you do with the other 2. You can see the barrel here is a lot more square. And this one, instead of coming with the bullets, comes with an actual magazine, which is kind of a like grayish color. It's a little different than the gun itself. Overall, another pretty detailed weapon, I'd say. I do once again actually have a brick arms version of this, so I'll go ahead and show the difference in detail here. But you know, here is the brick arms version. I don't have a bipod on it currently, but honestly, they are very, very similar in terms of size and detail as well. In fact, even the magazine is almost the same. So overall, this is actually pretty good looking, pretty decent quality. So let's just get into some final thoughts here. So overall, I think these are pretty good quality and a really good value for what they are. You know, there are some issues with them, you know, obviously not being a real Lego, whereas the, you know, US Airborne ones I had ordered had like really stiff arms. These ones, the arms actually are pretty good, but the legs are super loose on a lot of these, holding onto the torso and like the actual joint on the legs themselves. They're not unusably bad, you know, they still hold their position and all that, but you know, they're not falling apart, but they are much, you know, noticeably looser than real Lego. So yeah, I got these on AliExpress. This set of 10 here with the painted weapons was $18, and it came with all these painted weapons, as well as it came with, each one came with their own plain brown Kar 98 although I'm not entirely sure that they were supposed to. They also all came with these, little platform things reminiscent of like the minifigure series. I think they still put these in there. I'm not sure. If you want to display them or whatever. But overall, I think it's pretty good value. If you want the ones without the painted weapons, it was like $14. I'll have a link below to this set specifically, but I'd say, I'd recommend them for the price, honestly. Just, know what you're getting into with these, because, like I said, there is some quality issues, but the printing itself is really good, and, you can't really beat it for the price. So, yeah, if you're interested in seeing the review I did on the US Airborne ones, I'll have that linked below as well. I have some other reviews and unboxings on my channel if you're interested in that. If you like brick films, I have a second, I should say my main channel, where I do animations. I'll have that linked below as well. But until next time, I'll see you all later.